up and welcome back. This is your guy, Law of Evolution, and welcome to episode number 12 of Draw with Law. And it goes, I always say I had a lot of fun with this one, but I'm having a lot of fun with all of this shit. I mean, come on, let's be real. I love what I'm doing. I love drawing. I love drafting. I love illustrating, and I have fun with this one too. But this one's a little special to me because it's once you see I get to that part, and it actually happens really soon. He has on a Nebraska Cornhuskers hat, and this gorilla is just like OG as hell, right? And so I just wanted to do something that was kind of from the city and just have some homage to where I grew up. If you didn't know, I actually grew up I was born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska, right? And so people will probably look at me and be like, what? Like, there's no people in Omaha, Nebraska. Like, are there black people? And so let me do away with a couple of these myths really quick, because people outside of that kind of area don't really understand anything about the area, right? So let me help you with a couple things. The Omaha, kind of the greater residential area of Omaha, has 1.3 million people in it. Right? The city, inside of the city bounds of Omaha, Nebraska, is about 470,000 or something like that. But when I say the greater Omaha area, I mean, just think of a place like where I live right now is Denver, Colorado. The city of Denver has a lot of people in it, but then you have to factor in the suburbs like Aurora, Colorado, which is, I mean, I live in Aurora, and it only takes me about 10 minutes to get downtown Denver, right? So that all kind of comes into play when you talk about the population of an area, right? And so you have to factor in Denver, Colorado, and Aurora, Colorado, the suburbs, and then Inglewood and all these other suburban areas that are around Denver to factor in how big that city really is. You know what I mean? And so in this greater Denver area, there are millions. I'm like 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many millions of people are in this greater Denver area. And when it comes to Omaha, Nebraska, there is 1.3 to 1.4 million people in that area. And so that's one myth we want to do away with. It's one of the smaller cities when you think about it, but there's a lot of people there. Right, so let's just set that to the side too, right? Another thing that we can kind of just throw out of the door really quick is Omaha is a pretty dangerous place to live for someone like myself and my family and my cousin. You know, it's not that safe of a place to live. All you have to do is look up the statistical data, and it'll tell you that Omaha, Nebraska, for the last 20 years or something like that, not only at one point was it number 1 in the nation for murder rate, number 1, guys, but there was times where it was number 2, number 5, number 7, year after year after year. You know, people in my family, my cousins, my family, my friends were being murdered and disappearing and everything that you would think about in a big city. It was happening there, but I'm talking about they're number 1. So it's kind of crazy to think that if you're not in that area and if you're not in the place around there, you wouldn't know things like that, right? But of course, me growing up and being born and raised there, of course, I know these things. It's not the best place. And I actually moved away from Omaha, Nebraska. This was one of the reasons that I did, because a lot of the people around me were getting killed. A lot of the people around me were going to prison. And it was just not a safe place for me anymore, because I felt like it was getting too close to me and I was going to be next. You know what I mean? And so that's another one we can throw out the window. Not only is it a big place when you factor in everything that's around it, the suburbs and the city itself, but it's dangerous, man. Don't let nobody lie to you. It's pretty dangerous. Another thing that we can just throw out the window really quick, because people always say this to me when I'm in different places around the country, is that what? There are actually black folks in Omaha or black folks in Nebraska? Like, what? I'm like, dude, come on. This is something that we need to understand now too. The African American population, Asian, Native American, other races, the population in Nebraska or in Omaha is well over 15%. Right? So you're going to see just as many black folks or just as many Asians or Native Americans or like Hispanics or something like that as you would see anywhere else in the nation. And in some cases more. So those are some things that we wanted to get out of the way about my city and help people understand that it's not sweet. You know what I mean? It's not small. It's not sweet. It might be quaint. You know what I mean? The cost of living may be low, but that has nothing to do with what it really is once you step foot inside of the bounds of Omaha and inside of that greater Omaha area. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, now that we got that all out of the way, this one I actually really have fun with. I got a lot of orders for t-shirts and different stuff like that for this one, because a lot of my friends and a lot of the people that I interact with are from the city, and so this one I had a lot of fun with. And as you can see, I'm actually smashed through this pretty quick. I came home from work one day at 6:30 a.m. Well, I got home at about 7 a.m. one morning, and I was completely done with this design. I'm talking about hand-drawn, digitized, and colored within about 5 hours, which is odd for me. I mean, not 5 hours split between 2 days, not the type of stuff that I generally do, but I mean, I came home from work and I knocked this one out, and I did it very fast, you know. And so part of that has to do with how I've streamlined my coloring process, and how I use the knife tool, and how I'm using the different ways of coloring that I've just learned a few days ago. So it's kind of making this go even faster. And not only that, but I'm about to get a drawing tablet, which I'm super excited about. I'm about to get the Huion 12. Not the top of the line kind of Wacom tablets or whatever that you used to seeing people online use when they draw. But I got to start somewhere, right? I have to sell some product. I have to, get some t-shirts off before I can go and spend $2,000 on a Wacom tablet. So I'm going to get a Huion, and that's going to make this process go even faster. So there's going to be a point where I'm going to be kicking out these episodes 2, 3, 4 times a week. And I think that's not only going to help the channel grow, but it's just going to make it more fun for me to get an idea, knock the idea out, and get it presented and recorded and done like very, very, very quickly. So I'm excited about that. And I'm just a huge Cornhuskers fan. I mean, if you guys don't know about the Nebraska Cornhuskers, the football, college football, that's pretty much like a professional football team to us. I mean, we've won Rose Bowls. We very routinely get into, the bowl games. I mean, that's just what Nebraska is. We always have a good team every year. And when people bump into the Cornhuskers, you're going to have a tough game on your hands, right? So to us in Nebraska, and to the people that grew up there and lived there and that are fans of the Huskers and fans of the team, you just know that we don't have professional teams, but the Huskers might as well be a pro team to us. So I have a lot of Huskers gear, and I have a lot of stuff like that. And this one was just fun. All I did was put a Huskers hat on him, and a lot of people fell in love with it. A lot of my friends ordered t-shirt designs of this. And so what I'm going to be doing is a lot of these recent designs that I've done, I'm putting together an entire catalog, designs that I'm going to be putting forward so you could order. If you like the design, or if you like the way that it looks on a t-shirt, then you'll be able to order these directly from me. And that'll be dope, and it's not going to be these online stores, the t-shirt shops that you see YouTubers and people use and stuff like that. We're creating these ourselves. Not only am I coming up with the illustrations and the designs myself, but me and a friend of mine who also owns a business where he can produce these, we're going to be working together to not only design them, but to create and ship them direct from seller. So that's going to be dope. Look out for that. And I appreciate you guys' support, man. It's like every time I drop one of these, I get the most awesome comments. I get people that just showing me love, telling me that, keep doing what you're doing. Everything's going well. So thank you so much for that. And I'm going to try to keep these episodes at around 10 minutes. There's no reason why you should have like a 20-minute, episode of this, especially when I can compress it down to move as fast as you see it moving. So thank you again, guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for checking out the episode. Once I get this Wacom tablet, not Wacom, but once I get the Huion tablet, which should be really like in the next week or two or something like that, you'll be able to see me kicking these out super quick, really fast, and you'll be able to enjoy a lot more episodes of this. And not only that, I'm still learning. I'm still putting things together. You might see me fumbling around in here a lot, but that's just me learning how it's going to go, learning how it's going to work. And that's about it, man. So thank you so much for checking it out. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I will see you guys in the next one.